On March 28, 2018 in the McDonald's All American game, a man named Nassir Little did this to Zion Williamson.
Know each other so well, and then you also consider the fact that many of them play USA basketball, Coach circuit, Adidas circuit, Under Armour circuit. So when you have all that going on, now you have relationships with each other.
This is what I want to see. This is what real basketball is.
Not only did Little make a name for himself as the Zion stopper after this moment, but he also won MVP of the game with 28 points. At the time, Little seemed kind of like a random unknown guy, but he was actually on his way to UNC as the consensus third-ranked recruit of the 2018 class, ahead of Zion himself. After high school though, it appeared that he almost vanished. That isn't the case though. Although he hasn't lived up to the high school hype, he's been low-key nice in the NBA. And after being traded just a few days ago, he's got the perfect opportunity to cement himself in the league. This is where Nassir Little, the Zion stopper, is now. How's it going, my friend? I'm Alexander from Load Management Media, and let's talk about it. Nassir Little was a high school legend back in the day. After slowly rising on the scene, in his senior year he really put himself on the map. Nas was already a great defender at 6'6" with a 7'1" wingspan, but that season offensively he really enhanced his game. Nas had everything: unbelievable bounce, solid handles, and a smooth jump shot. And his whole package was shown in that McDonald's All American game. 28 points, MVP, locked up Zion twice. It was a good day. On April 8th of that same year as well, Nassir won the MVP of the Jordan Brand Classic, being only the second player ever since Braun to win MVP at each of those tournaments. I mean, anytime you're mentioned in the same sentence as Braun, it's gotta be pretty good. This ultimately all culminated into a number 3 ranking overall for him at the end of the year. Then it was time for UNC. After high school, it seemed like he went off the radar, and that's probably because he wasn't a standout at UNC. After everything he did in high school, there were big expectations for college, and he just frankly didn't meet them. Nas wasn't horrible, but he wasn't elite either. In his one and only college season, Little played 36 games and averaged 10 points and 5 rebounds per, shooting 48% from the field and 27% from 3. And in every single game he played, he came off the bench. Throughout this season, he was pretty inconsistent. He showed the potential in moments, but not as often as you would have liked. Many scouts stated that he lacked a proper feel for the game and understanding of the system, and that he relied too much on his natural tools and not enough on his knowledge of the game. As a result, his team defense was often poor, and he would force shots on offense. That offensive improvement that was pretty evident in his senior year was really nowhere to be found in college. The glaring hole in his game was his three-point shooting. 27% from 3, fudge, bro. But quite a few things were out of his control at UNC, which really did not help his case at all. Although UNC isn't a team that just hands out minutes to freshmen like other programs, Little wasn't given much of a shot. It didn't help either that Carolina had won a title just 2 years prior, and many players remaining from that triumph were still on the team. In front of Nas at the starting small forward position happened to be Cam Johnson as well, who was on fire that year. Not a whole lot he could do about that. And so, because of his play and these circumstances, after being a projected top 5 pick in the 2019 draft, Nas fell all the way to Portland at number 25. With this pick, many believe that Portland was completely swinging on upside. A lot of people were not convinced with Nas at all, even though he showed some solid flashes in college that were from his high school days where he was elite. But over time in the NBA, Little carved out a really important role for himself. In Nassir's first 2 years in Portland, he had little opportunity. When Nas arrived, the Blazers were fully trying to compete, just off a back of a Western Conference Finals berth the year before, so it was understood he wouldn't have that much of an opportunity to start out. In his second year, he was supposed to have more of a shot, but after missing the start of the season through health and safety protocols, he played a low-volume rotational role on a quite talented Blazers team. His three-point shot was much improved though, which is why he got some more run. In his third season though, Nas was really nice. In year 3, Little averaged 10 points and 6 rebounds per game, shooting 46% from the field and 33% from 3 while starting 23 games. Nas showed a lot of the upside that he demonstrated in high school. His athleticism every night was off the charts. Whether it was hustling for a rebound, showing activity defensively, or igniting the crowd with a dunk, he showed the energy that everyone loved from him in high school. But now, Nas was doing it in a system alongside other great players. Unlike in college where he forced the game a lot, he let the game come to him. His three-pointer had improved a lot. Although it was only 33% this year, people knew he could shoot it. He has a nice hop into his release, good motion throughout, and this was a big reason why he's been able to stick in the NBA so far. Other top high school players who hadn't had things go the way they would have liked would have been like he was in high school, still trying to prove that he's the main guy, but Nas has transitioned really nicely into a valuable role player that any NBA team would love to have. Unfortunately, Little would only play 42 games in year 3 due to a tear in his left shoulder which required surgery. This put a striking halt on what was becoming a breakout year for Nas. It was enough, however, for the Blazers to sign him to a 4-year, $28 million rookie extension. Last season, Nassir was fully able to recover from the injury, and he played another important role on a Blazers team that started out strong. His role was diminished after last year's midseason acquisition of Josh Hart and the free agent signing of Jeremy Grant, but Little played well when he was out there. But yet again, Nassir got struck with the injury bug. In late November, Nas suffered a hip fracture that had him miss 20 games. He returned in January, but at that point, the Blazers had squandered a strong start to the season. By the end of the year, he capped off a solid season with averages of 7 points and 3 rebounds, shooting a career-high 37% from 3. But considering the year he had before, this was underwhelming for him. Not much that he could do about it though. At this point, Nassir Little's career in Portland was one that had shown promise, but one that hadn't broke out the way that at one point it looked like it would. And after 4 years, the Blazers decided he would be there no longer. On September 28th of this year, Little was traded in the Dame package that sent him, among others, to Phoenix for DeAndre Ayton. And that brings us to current day, where Nassir Little, the Zion stopper, has carved out a really nice role for him in the NBA after quite a disappointing time in college. And this upcoming year in Phoenix, he actually has the perfect opportunity to prove himself once again. The Phoenix Suns are looking for a championship as soon as possible, but they lacked depth. Bringing in Nas, a versatile 3-and-D guy who still has potential to be more than that, is a great move. As someone that can guard multiple positions, he'll be valuable off the bench or in the starting lineup. If you're a Phoenix guy and you haven't seen Nas play before, or you're not really familiar with his game, I promise you this year you will love him. Nassir Little isn't quite the top-end talent that he used to be in high school, but the man they called the Zion stopper has done quite well for himself in the NBA, and in Phoenix he'll continue to show us that he still has quality NBA talent. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Over here at Load Management Media, I talk about the most interesting and exciting stories of young players all around the NBA, so if you're interested in that, then this is the place for you. I'll be putting out at least one video a week, so if that interests you, consider hitting a like and a sub. I just want to thank you guys for helping me hit 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you so much, and just know that this is the start, and I'm going to continue to keep putting my all into these videos, so stick around, there's a lot more to come, and I hope you continue to enjoy the content that I'm going to be putting out. And as always, stay rested. See you in the next one.